So we are in Cape Town. I have the sun visor on because even though it's winter, the sun decided to come out to play today. I'm driving the Suzuki Baleno, and yes, I did a review or video of the Toyota Starlet, which is almost the very same car, 1.5 litre engine, etc, etc. If you want more details, you can watch the Toyota Starlet review, but I'm just gonna highlight the differences between the Baleno and the Toyota Starlet. If this is your first time watching, my name is Fakier and welcome to my channel. Now, as you can see, in the silver blue Suzuki Baleno, I've got the GL model. Now the GLX is the top of the range, and the Suzuki Baleno starts at 225,900 Rand, and it goes up to 295,900, so just under 300,000 Rand. And it's a compact vehicle hatch. As you know, there's no more Etios for Toyota, and the Baleno has always been, but everybody knows the Baleno now because of, I think, the Starlet maybe, and yeah, I think the whole revamp or the new look from 2021 really made it popular, and I think people know now that Suzuki is a reliable name, even though it is of course very long standing. I just think that the Baleno now has definitely a more popular footprint than ever before. This GL model doesn't have the daytime running lights, and that's why I want to talk about that, because in my Toyota Starlet review that I mentioned, you'll see that I drove the top of the model of the range, which is the XR. The GLX is the top of the range for the Suzuki line, and this middle one just below it is a manual 5-speed transmission. It also has your 1.5 litre engine, just like all of the Baleno vehicles, and then also the manuals come in a 5-speed and your traditional classic 4-speed automatic gearbox, depending on which variant you take. Now, as you can see, I'm just driving around the CBD, heading off to Sea Point to get some coastal shots, but I think it's really important to note that this car is a really cool city or urban car. It's obviously not an SUV, which we all know and you can see by the design, but being supposedly compact or hatchback, I want to emphasize that this car is super spacious for the price. I've watched some other reviews, and some people say that the cabin is quite full. For me, not so much. I find it quite spacious. So you do get it's almost like I mentioned, identical design. However, the top of the range GLX Suzuki Baleno has the heads-up display, for example, and the GL and Toyota doesn't offer that, whereas the GL has your 7-inch display and not your 9-inch infotainment system. The infotainment system that you did see, if you want to have a look at the 9-inch display, you can have a look at my Toyota Starlet review, because this is the display for the GL model for the Suzuki, which is a 7-inch display. So that's also another difference. I think also, which makes a big difference to this vehicle, of course I mentioned that L looking lights on the rear, but on the front you've got, which I'm quite a fan of on the Toyota side of things, you've got this black grille finish on the front of the Suzuki, and that's completely different to the design of the Suzuki Baleno of last year. So yeah, always switching between the two, and Toyota just finished it off with the signature chromatic line, which you see on the Toyota Quest, and that's definitely the distinguishing factors and the roundness of the lights, but you still get that shoulders on the side of these vehicles. They are almost identical. So now that the Suzuki is more popular, they've also increased the boot size to around 314 liters of boot capacity, and yeah, 77 kilowatts of power. And I want to mention that, of course, since everybody likes this car, including Toyota, to buy it over, I mean, this car had to improve. It was already good on the 1.4 liter engine, but this car is a solid drive with the new 1.5 liter engine. I think it's a major improvement, which I cannot emphasize more. The GL model specifically, you've got a mixture between the dial and the digital driver's display, and then you've got these controls as well as cruise control. I don't find it specifically handy or useful on a manual vehicle, but yeah, that's just me. If you like it, okay, cool. Also, more on the interior, it's identical to the new Starlet as well. In my other review, you can see they've got the navy and the grey finishes. It's also of much quality, I must mention. Something I do specifically like and I paid attention to earlier is, and I can't remember if the Toyota Starlet does have it, but I really like that the fact that the armrest for the driver moves back and forth, so that's really quite cool for me. Also, the GL model specifically has the, I always think, like, do people think I'm speaking to the camera or to them? Like, sometimes people like take a peek in and it seems a bit weird. Anyway, the GL model has your park distance control, so there is PDC all around, and I must say it is quite not sensitive, it does the job. But then also you've got your reverse camera on all the models for the Suzuki. But I think why I would buy the Suzuki if it were my choice, I would buy the Suzuki because of that 4-year service plan and 5-year warranty. That is excellent. I mean, Toyota only offers it up to 3, so that is definitely not as nice. It's a really big difference for your service plan and then your warranty. So I mean, Suzuki must have a really good faith in their cars to offer that kind of service plan and warranty. So that's definitely why I would buy the Suzuki over the Baleno. Something I must mention though about the Suzuki over the Toyota, sorry, but I also must mention that the steering, that's where, you know, there's some finishes or disadvantages that kind of would make me lean toward the Starlet, and that is the play. And I'm not sure if it's just me or just this model, but there's a little bit of play on the wheel for this manual GL model of the Suzuki, that I didn't experience on the Toyota Starlet. But then also, like, small security or safety features like your speed lock or your auto lock, this car doesn't have it. And I actually spoke to someone who drives a few Suzukis, and they mentioned to me I actually need to take note of that, because they've noticed that quite a few Suzukis don't have the speed lock. So basically, once you drive and you hit a certain speed, maybe like 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, the car automatically locks. Here I always have to do it, unlock and manually lock on my own. So that's definitely also something to definitely a notable difference. So that said, doesn't mean the disadvantages are all disadvantages. I'm just telling you the comparison between the two cars. They are absolutely amazing cars. There's a reason you see so many of them on the road, and I think we're gonna see more of them on the road also. I recently heard that the Urban Cruiser is also gonna have a new look, which means, of course, if that's the rumor, it means that of course the Vitara Brezza is also going to have a new look. And I think Suzuki is doing really well with this collaboration, specifically in a region where where people have the brand loyalty. But I think that Suzuki's brand loyalty, especially among the young, is definitely coming up, and that's because of the affordability and the quality and reliability of their brands and their vehicles, and of course that service plan. It's just amazing. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, drop your comments down below and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.